Hello, fight fans. If you're looking for betting odds and picks for Bellator 220's main event, you've came to the right place. I'm Mike of Fights with Friends. Please hit that like button. Make sure and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you're notified whenever I drop a new video or go live. Tomorrow, starting after the UFC main event starts. So Bellator 220's main event will start at 7 p.m. only on DAZN. So if you don't have DAZN, you have to go out there and get one of those 7-day free trials, or you may just have to listen by audio on Fights with Friends. Let's go into the picks, though. First of all, let's go into Benson Henderson versus Adam Piccolotti. Benson Henderson, of course, UFC veteran, former UFC world champion, now turned 35 years old. He is 26-8. He's won 2 of his last 3. His only loss was a loss to Patricky Freire, a split decision. Could have gone either way. Got a guillotine choke over Rory Macdonald, a guy that's well past his prime. If you're wondering why he fought Roger Huerta came in on short notice. And then his last fight, he beat Sadawad by unanimous decision. Adam Piccolotti has also won 2 of his last 3. Also won his last 2 fights against much less known opposition, though. Much worse opposition. Adam Piccolotti, I mean, he is 11-2. I wouldn't say he has the worst chances in these fights, but I think these odds are pretty close. I'm pretty in line with these odds. I think Benson Henderson finishes this one, honestly, pretty easily. Piccolotti, he's only lost twice. He's got 1 by submission, 1 by decision. I'm going to say Benson Henderson, 3-round unanimous decision. Go with the odds makers on that one. Now, the next fight up, Phil Davis and Liam McGeary. A lot of these fights, big odds. Big underdogs, so could be some big money to be made. You could say, hey, a lot of money to be made, Mike. Maybe that's what a lot of you were saying. But you got Liam McGeary. He's only won 1 of his last 3 fights. He got submitted by Vassell. Then he lost to the same guy. They both lost to Vadim Nunkov. Phil Davis said earlier that it was his fault. He said that today in a SureDog interview this week. That it was his fault. He doesn't blame it on the judges. Doesn't blame it on anybody. But it was a split decision. It was very close. Same opponent. You know, Liam McGeary, TKO from leg kicks. My favorite finish to a fight, by the way. Phil Davis, easy in this one. These two have already fought, by the way. They fought about 2 years ago. Phil Davis won a unanimous decision then. I don't think anything has really changed between these two, except for McGeary's now 34. Phil Davis, or 36. Phil Davis is 34. I think Phil Davis walks away with this one fairly easily. That gets us into our co-main event of the evening. Yes, just breaking down 4 fights here. Veta Arteaga taking on Ilene Macfarlane, the 125-pound women's champ over there in Bellator. And Ilene Macfarlane, if you have not watched the Illuminator fight yet, she is a true star. She has incredible entrances, and her fight style is extremely exciting. She makes the 125-pound female division without a doubt. And you see these odds, I really do not think these are out of whack. Although Veta Arteaga, you might look at her and say, hey, she's only 5-2. Why is she getting a title shot? Well, both of those fights were disputed split decisions. So very close decisions. Won her last fight by submission guillotine choke. Ilene Macfarlane, of course, 9-0. She's won 8 of those fights in Bellator. She's got 6 submissions. She's an animal. She's an absolute animal. She likes to finish fights. Just she gets pissed when she doesn't finish fights. And I am going to say that Veta Arteaga gets submitted for the first time in her career. And I'm going to say Macfarlane submits Veta Arteaga in the 3rd and final round. So going with the judges, with the odds makers again on that one. This next one is a very tough one. Very tough one. You have the welterweight champion, Rory the Red King Macdonald. And you have the veteran, Jon Fitch. Of course, my friend, Jon Fitch. And maybe some people expect me to be a little biased. He is on a long win streak, though. He was the World Series of Fighting champion. He has that 3-fight win streak is over Paul Daly, Brian Foster, and Jake Shields. He was not challenged in any of those fights. Submitted Brian Foster by a rear naked choke in the 2nd. I think he's going to have the stamina. He went 5 rounds with Jake Shields, that unanimous decision, so he's got the 5-round stamina. The big question is what Rory Macdonald shows up. I think I kind of know what Jon Fitch is going to show up. And it's a pretty damn good looking one for 41 years old. Now, only at 29, I've been watching a lot of Rory Macdonald's interactions with people, with the media, his Twitter account and everything. I'm not sure he has the killer instinct he once had. Now, I'm also not sure he's going to need it. Of course, he finished Paul Daly, submitted him in the 2nd round. Jon Fitch, you know, he's went to a lot more decisions. In his 32 wins, he's finished 12 fights, 20 wins by decision. When he goes to decision, obviously, you know, it's not very often he loses. Only lost 2 of those. Been submitted 3 times himself, been knocked out twice. Rory, he can beat you in a lot of different ways. But like I said, it's just what Rory. He's coming off being absolutely dominated by Gegard Mousasi. Of course, he went up a weight class. He was never competitive in that fight, though, in a similar style of fighter that Jon Fitch is. Now, Gegard Mousasi, like I say, he finishes more fights. He's much more dangerous standing. Rory Macdonald in the past, his takedown defense. He beat Douglas Lima, who's got great takedowns. In the past, he has also beaten Tyron Woodley, who, of course, has incredible takedowns and is an incredibly strong fighter. Was one of the best welterweights, is one of the best welterweights probably ever. So if I'm going to take this straight up, I don't agree with those odds. I think this should be much closer. But if I'm going to take this straight up, I'm going to take Rory Macdonald. I'm going to say Rory Macdonald wins in an absolute war, and I think it goes to 5 rounds by decision. It goes to 5 rounds by decision, or Rory stops it late in the 5th round. But I'm at plus 325. If I can get anything better than that, I still might pull the trigger and drop $100 on Jon Fitch, because I'd be pretty happy if he wins tomorrow, to be honest. Let me know what you guys think, though, in the comments down below. Who do you think is going to win in these fights? Do you see any upsets happening here? I think this is the most likely, but let me know what you guys think down there below. Are you excited about this Bellator card and the UFC? They slightly overlap. But like I said, we'll be able to watch the end of Bellator after the UFC is over. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses later.